First, let's go back to the New York civil fraud case where the Trump family has been ordered by Judge Arthur Engoron to pay $364 million in total and is also barred from doing any sort of business in New York for the next 3 years. Now, the former president, he does plan to appeal. Trump still facing 91 felony counts and 4 other criminal indictments: the D.C. classified documents case, the Georgia Fani Willis election interference case, the New York Stormy Daniels hush money case, and the Jack Smith January 6th case in D.C. So the lawsuit witch hunt is far from over as we rapidly approach November.
Yeah, the big question right now, do we actually have a verdict that could impact Trump if he's the nominee between today and Election Day, 8.5 months to go? Joining us now for more, the former mayor of New York City and former Trump attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Mr. Mayor, great to have you on. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Glad you're with us. A lot to talk about after last week. Busy week, my goodness. Although I thought that Friday was a good day for Trump lawfare when you saw what happened in Georgia until that verdict Friday afternoon. How much do you think all of this hurts Trump on the campaign trail? Because, look, this is a question we've been asking for the better part of a year. But in Michigan on Saturday, Trump spent the better part of his speech talking about these cases and talking about this $355 million judgment, not talking about Joe Biden, not talking about his plans for a possible second term. How much does this really affect Trump?
Well, I mean, so far, you'd have to say from the objective evidence that it helps them. I mean, when they first started, I didn't know. We've never had an indictment of a former president or sitting president. And I kind of suspected he would be able to withstand 1 or 2 because of I think the knowledge that people have that this is not really fair, this is not really justice. 4 of them, it's amazing that he does better. I think we're probably at the point where we have to conclude that a lot of the public has made up their minds about these cases. And I think the only thing that's going to matter is, will a conviction, which is a different word, make a difference? Now, it really shouldn't, because they've concluded that the cases are unfair. And the correct result in an unfair or unjust case is an acquittal. Now, I was taught as a prosecutor, my job was to do justice. And it was emphasized not to get a conviction. And you look at these cases, every one of them, I don't know the right legal term for it, but I'll give the right word for it. They're a joke. And they are a political travesty and a crime against the United States Constitution. Bragg's probably being the biggest joke of all because it's barred by the statute of limitations. There are probably 5 or 10 million non-negotiation agreements or non-disparagement agreements. I myself have probably negotiated 500 of them and had people sign them at the end of litigation of all kinds. It can be personal litigation. It can be business. It can be about trade secrets. It could be about national security secrets. If we're not going to be able to use this in a personal matter, it's going to change the law completely. It's also just a basic tenet of law that you don't experiment with the criminal law. You do not try new theories. Now, that's all Jack Smith has done in his career. The only reason Garland selected him is because he's a slimy, unethical lawyer. And that's not my word. That's the words of the people who have disciplined him.
Yeah.
This is what he's done. He's taken non-cases, brought them against people, ruined their reputation, and then had the Supreme Court overthrow them 9-0. Then we get the person in Georgia, you know, Fani. Need I say anything about Fani? I mean, Fani shouldn't be bringing a RICO case.
Mr. Mayor.
Fani should be defending herself about going to prison. There isn't a case worth anything against him. Some judge should come in and throw them all out.